people first hear the title of my book is Green Beans and Ice Cream, their first response is usually, huh? That doesn't sound like it goes together at all. But I promise, by the end of this short presentation, green beans and ice cream will be your favorite recipe for dealing with your kids, with your spouse, with your coworkers, with your boss, with your teachers, and even your students. It's all about harnessing the remarkable power of positive reinforcement. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of leader you are, whether you're a business leader, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a parent, what you want from the people you lead is always the same thing. It is a four-letter word, and that word is M-O-R-E, more. We want more sales, more safety, more quality, more innovation and bright ideas, more customer and patient satisfaction, more production, more performance, better grades, cleaner rooms. Yep, we want more. And if you want more, that means you got to get people to change their behavior. It really is all about behavior change. Now, over the last 10 years, we've heard an awful lot from Towers, Watson, and Gallup about the importance of employee engagement. And yeah, employee engagement's a pretty big deal. I mean, we know the research says that the more engagement you have, the better your safety, quality, production, performance is going to be. And when you have a company or a group that performs well, then all of a sudden, guess what? Your customers are really satisfied and happy. And if you have happy and satisfied customers, that's going to drive, guess what? Profitability. But what is it that drives employee engagement? The research says the number one driver of engagement is positive reinforcement in the system. Positive reinforcement drives profitability. It drives performance. And we've talked a lot about engagement, and yeah, engagement is a big deal. Just like when a young man puts that diamond ring on the young lady's finger, they're engaged. But I would argue that that's not as important a moment as the moment when the two of them look in each other's eyes and they say, I do, and they commit to a long-term relationship. So is there a level of performance beyond engagement? I think so, and I think it's all about commitment. As we work to move people beyond just engagement and down this path towards commitment, we realize that there are really only three kinds of people that come to work with us every day in our schools and our workplaces. You have the non-compliant people. Hey, I will not do your safety and quality stuff. I will not do that extra credit homework assignment. Then you have the compliant. I'll do it if I have to, if you make me do it. And last but not least, you got the one we can't seem to find enough of, the committed. These are the ones who say, I want to do it. I'll do it whether you're watching me or not. This is where we want people to be, but sadly, more than 90% of people live at either compliance or non-compliance. Why? Because the management system that we use around the world is classic leave alone zap. We leave people alone and say nothing when they do it right, but we're quick to zap them when they make a mistake. And this actually does work. It produces a short-term change in behavior. You can watch it every day on the interstate. The pack of cars are driving down the interstate going above the speed limit. They are non-compliant. They are not doing what the police want them to do. And all of a sudden, the moment they see the policeman point the radar gun in their direction, to avoid the zap, they hit the brakes and they become compliant. They do whatever they have to do to avoid getting the zap of the ticket. Does this play out in the real world? Do we ever see this happen? Sure, we see it all the time. You know, hey, I'm non-compliant. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Here comes the supervisor. Okay, I'm doing it. Here comes the teacher. Okay, I'm doing it. Oh, they're gone. Oh, I'm not doing it. Oh, they're back. I'm doing it. So what we see is there's a yo-yo effect of leave alone zap. You don't get people moving to that highest level of performance. If you want to get commitment, getting people to do it because they want to do it, it takes something more than leave alone zap. You can't leave alone zap people into commitment. If you could, the police would have eradicated speeding years ago. Think about it. Yeah, to get commitment, to get people doing it in the moment of choice when nobody's watching, requires a different management system than leave alone zap. It requires what I call PR plus leadership. Positive reinforcement delivered by the leadership team. It's the only way to get world-class performance. And, when we think about getting more positive reinforcement in your culture, you're probably saying about now, yeah, we could use a little less zap in our culture and we could use a little more ice cream, a little more positive reinforcement. But when we assess most teams and cultures and companies, what we find is, 99% of them say, Bill, to be honest, when it comes to positive reinforcement, we try to do it, but we're kind of like magic. We do our performance appraisals and our company picnic, but we're inconsistent and haphazard in our execution and delivery of it, as opposed to, the company everybody wants to be. Less than 1% of the companies are over here at Strategic. They're delivering positive reinforcement and feedback every single day for the precise behaviors and sub-results in quality, safety, and production and school performance that they want to see. So how do we shift a culture from being magic to being strategic? Well, one of the first steps in all this is our Green Bean Leadership Workshop. And in that workshop, which scores 5 out of 5, we cover what positive reinforcement really is and what it isn't. And, why it takes more than a paycheck to get world-class performance and how you do it. I don't feel comfortable doing it, Bill. It feels awkward. We hear that all the time from leaders. And the most important question we answer is the 5-word question, WIFM. What's in it for me? If you can't answer that question, you will not change culture and you will not change behavior in your organization. Well, my mom understood the WIFM concept really well. She said, son, if you eat your green beans, you can have some ice cream. And it worked. I'm eating green beans to this day. I've been around the world handing out green bean pens and ice cream pens. Wrote a book about green beans and ice cream. What did Mom do? Well, the first thing she did was pinpoint and communicate the behavior she wanted. Eat green beans. And when I did it, I got a smile from Mom, a pat on the back, and a big bowl of ice cream. And hello, I got all those reinforcers immediately, not at the end of the year in my annual kid performance appraisal where I'd have to wait to see if I was going to get 1, 2, or 3 licks of ice cream. So what do we know about positive reinforcement? It's got to be immediate. It's got to happen within 10 seconds. And not only does it have to be immediate, but it can never ever be one size fits all. Now, one size fits all is the approach that a lot of companies use for positive reinforcement. Google got in a lot of trouble. They gave everybody a 10% pay raise across the board. Probably not a good idea. Here's why. If you are the most committed person in the company, that's you on the right side. You do it in the moment of choice when nobody's watching. And I, on the other hand, am the most non-compliant person in the company or on the team or in our team of school kids. And I'm breaking rules, taking shortcuts. I'm a slacker. And we both know that about each other. When somebody makes the brilliant decision to give us both the exact same award, maybe it's a $100 gift card or the 10% pay raise, how does that make you feel? Not very good. How does it make me feel? Pretty darn good. I got the same thing you got, and I didn't have to work nearly so hard. And pretty soon, because we've punished your commitment, you wind up eroding commitment away, and you become compliant, along with a good number of your fellow workers around the world. So one size really does not fit all. Got to reinforce people for what they do that makes a difference on a day in, day out basis. Would you like to unleash the remarkable power of positive reinforcement with your team? Well, stop by my website at greenbeanbook.com today. Thanks for your time.